Hello.
Hi.
How's it
All
going?
right. How are you?
I'm good. So good to see you
Good to
again.
see you too. Loving hair.
Oh, thank you. It matches the bus. That was the main reason behind it.
Fabulous.
I'm slowly just going to become a Volkswagen
I,
bus.
I mean,
From
a Halloween costume, right?
exactly from like gaining weight in quarantine to like my hair, I'm like, I'm a bus.
Oh, no.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, tell us a bit about yourself and your hustle and your business and where you are, all the things.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Lisa and I am LeeBee Letters. I am a digital artist and illustrator. I've been doing it for about, I want to say 3 years ish. I had just gotten an iPad and the Procreate app. And I just kind of started futzing around. I used to a long time ago have a Wacom tablet when I was in college, and I used to like play with that a lot, but like just messing around. I never did anything like serious. So when I found the Procreate app, I was like, wow, this is like really similar, and I can kind of do even more with it. So as I was drawing, my husband and a couple of my friends were like, this is some really cool stuff, like you should share it. And I was, nervous to do that because I'm always nervous about everything. Personality traits. um I was like, you know what, the messages that I'm trying to get out there, like who cares if the art is like perfect or not, like I'm just trying to get like a good
Yeah.
energy into the world. So that's kind of why I sort of started sharing it, because I didn't really I used to just share them on my like personal Instagram, and then I'm like, I'm gonna actually like go.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, so and I live in Central Jersey. I live in Middlesex. I've grown up around here, and yeah. So this isn't my main gig. It's my side hustle, but it is something I'm very passionate about, and I just like I enjoy it. It gives me peace to kind of put the messages out there
Yeah.
and the artwork out there, and then when I get feedback from people who say like, "Oh my gosh, like I needed that today," like just warms my heart, and
Yeah.
that's really kind of why, like part of why I'm doing it. So it's like
Yeah.
a back and forth gift, I feel like,
Yeah.
so
Totally. I know they're so beautiful. I've definitely sent you that message a couple times. Like, I needed this. Oh my God, I love it. It's
I
just like,
appreciate that
because
so
they're
much.
simple,
Yeah.
but they're like those like poignant, small like mantras are so great because like our brain capacity to like hold something bigger than that sometimes isn't always activated. So having
Yeah,
smaller little things like that that are meaningful, we can like think about all day and chew on it, and it's great.
totally.
Um, and you were making prints and selling them at shows, and that's where I met you, was
Yeah.
at the market we did together. But then
Mhm.
you recently launched your Teespring shop. So tell us about that. That's exciting.
Yeah, so I was doing the vendor events, like, printing and packaging my own stuff, and mostly just doing prints. I was like ordering things like luggage tags and
Yeah.
buttons and pins and stuff. But since it is my side thing, it was kind of this cool opportunity showed up, like with all the COVID-19 stuff going on. Threadless had shared that they were doing this artist shop promotion and stuff, and I was like, you know what, this is a good time to, like, I'm home for a little while, I can kind of spend some time
Yeah.
like uploading some stuff and getting the feel for it. And then I've actually had a few friends have ordered some things, and they've reported back, and I'm like glad to hear the quality is good, and like,
Right.
so it's cool because I can have my product or my artwork on all different kinds of stuff. There's like blankets and pillows and tote bags, and like, so that's kind of fun because on my own right now I can't provide that. Like that's the hope someday, is that I can be doing that. But for now, the Threadless shop is like a perfect like a perfect place to be
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there all those shops like that are like so cool as a way to just like try it out. And I think
Mhm.
like I've had a little bit of a struggle with like launching my stuff on things like that. I think it's mainly just because there's just so many artists that are out there doing it
For
right now.
sure.
But
Yeah.
I feel like if you like have a big enough following or enough like presence, it will be successful for you. And so,
Yeah.
and I think like, yeah, it's hard when you can't tell the quality of the stuff um, in person. So that's awesome that your friends are helping you.
Yeah, I was like, thank gosh, that's so good. Because like
Yeah,
it's nerve-wracking, but like it's a for now thing. And I definitely, and you're right, like it's very saturated out there. So for me, it's more just like I'm happy to have something out there where if people
yeah,
want to buy, they can. Because
right.
that wasn't really what I was able to do from home. I could do it at the markets, but like
Yeah.
I didn't have that capacity, and people will be like, oh, I want this as a print. I'm like, well, I have to work, like it was like a whole process. So
Yeah,
this just
exactly.
streamlines it for now. And then I can hopefully, build and grow and change and adapt, and we'll see
Yeah.
what happens next.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing that I don't know if you have any of your items in yourself in person, but what's something that's exciting that you have one of your prints on or one of your designs on that you really like?
Um, so I kind of like the pillows.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Like,
they were so cute. The pictures you shared of them.
they're kind of
Love
fun.
them.
And the other thing I like is the notebooks and like the spiral bound
Oh,
journals,
yeah.
because I feel like those are good. Like, you have them with you, and it's like the reminders on them. It's kind of like, take a breath, like read this thing, like
Right.
protect your energy, like that's one of them. Like when you're in that moment in your meeting with your notebook and you're like having you know,
Yeah.
and you just take a look at your little message, and then it kind of gives you a little boost. So
Right. Exactly. I just had an idea for a collaboration between us. So hang on, let me write it down.
oh, I'm loving this.
Okay.
Magic.
How did you get the name for your shop? Where did that come from?
Oh, so my husband calls me LeeBee.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so I have like a little bee tattoo because I'm like, I like bees. And
Yeah.
one of the first like times we hung out, he was like, it just like kind of came out, and I was like, what now? And he's like, no, LeeBee. I'm like, okay. So, and then it was like the alliteration, LeeBee Letters. It
Oh
just kind
yeah.
of, you know,
I love an alliteration. Hello, small
yeah,
business bazaar.
right. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's how that came up.
Yeah. So what's like your favorite part of what you do? Whether it's, I mean, the owning the business part I know is still kind of newish for you, but in terms of it being like your hustle, what's your favorite part of it?
Yeah. So there's two things I really love is creating the art itself, like coming up with the idea, figuring out like, and just sort of sometimes it literally is just like a flow, like you're just
Yeah.
like letting it out, and
Yeah.
imperfect as it is, or whether or not like I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good or whatever. Sometimes it's nice to just get that out there. So like
Yeah.
therapeutically, like that's always like a positive thing.
Mhm.
And then the other thing is absolutely by far the people that I meet through doing this. Like you, for example, I've met so many incredible artists and makers, and um,
Mhm.
I've done commissions for people that I may not have met
Yeah.
otherwise. And being at the different vendor events has been amazing. Like even something virtual like this, I'm following all these new people, and like I hope I get to meet them in person
Yeah.
someday. So
Right.
definitely those two things, like actually making the stuff, and then the people, like the
Yeah.
artist community is just a beautiful place to be.
Right. Now, is your background, did you go to school for art or do you have a background in art at all?
So I have a degree in elementary education and theater. So
Gotcha.
I
Cool.
was a kindergarten teacher for 10 years. And I did that for a while. So
Probably
I
old
was
enough to have
always,
done something for 10 years. Like that's bananas to me.
it makes me feel old.
I know, right?
Kind of old now.
Oh my
Um, so yeah, so I always loved art though. Like growing up, I Art for All in Somerville, New Jersey. I don't even know if it's still there, but I like went to classes there all the time,
God.
and I used to just get like art kits with my mom from like Rag Shop.
Yes,
Again,
rag
old,
shop represent.
right? Old lady right here.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Throwback.
Weird.
And yeah, and like always just crafting and creating and making,
Yeah.
and then even like now my sister's very creative, my mom has always been creative, my husband's sister and mom, my sister-in-law and mother-in-law, are both art teachers, and they're
Okay.
incredibly talented. My husband's incredibly talented. He does
Yeah.
artwork for the NBA and stuff, so it's like
Wow.
yeah, it's really cool
Oh my
um
god.
to be like surrounded by all of that.
Yeah.
Like it's just good creative energy is nice.
Yeah. I love that. What is some advice you have for someone wanting to just take their hustle to the next level or just try something new and be creative?
Yeah, I would absolutely say give it a chance, because like from a person who was very nervous and didn't want to put it out there,
Yeah.
the support that you receive, the artist community is such a positive, good energy place to be. And um, you know, I wouldn't have met half the people I've met in the last 2 years if I hadn't started it. And vendor events are like a really good place to start, especially like smaller ones where there's like not a big table fee.
Yes.
And at those, like you can meet a ton of people. So even if you just kind of like put the feelers out that way to start,
Right.
I feel like that's a great place to kind of start. And then the other thing I would say too is like reach out to artists that you admire, and like see how they started, and ask for, their advice or their opinion, or kind of watch what they do,
Right, exactly. Well, and you did something that's really smart too. You would often split a booth with your friend.
Mm-hmm.
What is her name? Oh my gosh.
Lauren.
Lauren, okay. Oh,
Yes.
I forgot it. I was
Yes.
along the way. I like knew her
Yes.
handle, but that's
Yeah.
I always know people's handles and not their real first names.
Well, it's like the internet, right? That's like what it does to you.
Yeah, but splitting a table, I know if the whatchamacallit, the organizers will let you do that. That's like an easy way to split costs, to have a buddy with you when you're doing it. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, she and I she's like my best friend. We would have the most fun together. Like we would always pack snacks, and like the setup was super fun.
It's much more
like,
fun with someone with you.
Totally. And our stuff went well together. So it was nice to have like a, a kind of a similar, like putting love into the world vibe. So
yeah. Exactly.
Good. Absolutely recommend that. Yes. And thank you. That was, was super fun.
No, I just thought of it too while you were talking, because you were like one of the first people I remember even like seeing doing that at a show. I was like, wait, you can do that? Shoot. Like, I'll do that. I can bring a friend. That'd be perfect.
Who wants to join me? Raise your hand.
My cousin and I did that. Her name's Kelsey Brown. She has 91 designs. But she and I split a booth for the Red Mill market. Nice. And so that was helpful for cost and like sharing a space.
One other tip is find somebody like market based vendor events that connects communities of or creates a community of vendors and artists. Like working with them was has been great. They put on awesome events, and they definitely connect people. So I feel like that's another good place to start too, is to kind of like go find the resources and utilize them. Exactly.
And a plug for them. They're not paying me to say this at all, but they, they're a New Jersey based vendor show, and they've done some in PA, I believe too. But for anyone who's watching this, who's not from New Jersey or this area, and Kim and Kevin just do such a phenomenal job at organizing their events. But now that we haven't been able to be in person, they've shifted to having online presence called Shop Our Makers, and it's an online directory similar to the one that we have here in the market this time, because I actually like shared the idea with them from another vendor that I saw. And so it was like just a really fun collaborative thing, and they're just super open to like learning from vendors and from other people. And so now they've put all of their efforts into an online directory. There's over 70 vendors from all over the country in it. So it's cool that now you can kind of get their expertise and skills for your business, and you don't even have to live near them, like, because they're doing ads for the state that you're in and wherever you're located. So, and it's really affordable. It's $15 or $20 a month. So and they're nice, they're good, just kind, good people, and they love their vendors. They care about the artist community, and it's nice to just work with people like that. So well, there's our ad for them. So how have you pivoted during the pandemic?
So I haven't had to do too much. Obviously, like just not doing the in-person stuff because it's not available. And then because this happened, that's how I found the opportunity for the threadless shop. Right. So, I mean, I hadn't really been like looking for anything like that beforehand, or like really put a ton of effort into it, because obviously things were so busy. Right. But when things slowed down a little with all this, it was kind of like, oh, there's this like cool opportunity I can kind of take advantage of now. So that's really my main.
No, and I think that's huge, because like even doing an online market for me, even though I was the one curating it, I had to get my button gear and get my Etsy shop in order to launch it. You know what I mean? So like even the smallest little things can help shift us into doing something that we've been like putting off, or like finally have the time to get to. And it's a small blessing in the midst of a dumpster fire. And that's, take what you can get.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So how can people best support you now? What are you like looking forward to doing in the future?
Yeah, so I would just say like I love interacting with people on, especially on Instagram. That's like my main platform. So if you follow me, that's awesome. And I would love to like hear from you. Like, what do
Yeah.
you want to see? Like that kind of stuff.
And
Yeah.
I think too, just a note to anyone who sees your work and likes your work, always give you credit. Always make sure you tag the artist in whatever you share and post, because
Yeah.
it's very easy for stuff to get like reshared or reposted, and like the artist's name gets lost in the mix, and then people take credit for stuff. And I don't know if that's happened to you yet or not, but I just know in your sphere of things specifically, where things can just get easily ripped off, and it's such a bummer.
Yeah, definitely. Always credit the artist. I actually, in my stories, his name is Adam. I have him credited in my stories, but he shared a whole, like it's a resource for like resharing guidelines, like reposting guidelines.
Oh, that's so smart. I'll have to look at it.
So definitely like worth looking at if you want to reshare art. And I'm always happy to say like, please share it. That's great. Like put it on your story, like repost it if you want to, but yeah, totally. With credit is always very much appreciated.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I'm so happy to have you in our little group, and I'll definitely I need to shop everyone's stuff. So I have not had a minute to like look through everyone's things, but you have so many beautiful designs, and they're so cool, and like great gifts for people too. And I think like, yeah, you can find something for everybody in your shop. So
thank you. Yeah. Thank you for organizing this.
Yes,
I'm super excited to be part of it. And I can't wait to be shopping myself for all kinds of happy, wonderful things to for treat yourself and treat your people.
Treat your people. I love that.
Treat everybody, basically, is what we need to do.
I know, it's so true, right?
Yeah.
And a reminder too, even as vendors, if we make purchases from other vendors, we get entries to use in the virtual basket auction. So just keep that in mind.
Super cool. That's going to be really fun. The little virtual basket raffle. Love that idea.
It's really fun. All right, Lisa, we will chat soon, friend. Have a great one.
Thank you so much. It was so good to see you.
You too. Bye.